What's up guys, welcome back. This is Anime Crossover. You'll be watching What If Naruto Was Married to the Goddess of Death in Marvel Part 3. Now, let's begin. From the perspective of the Celestial Group, the destruction of a mere planet Earth would hold little significance. Who even cared? The Earth would have been annihilated ages ago. Thanks to Odin's protection, the Earth was saved from destruction. While Odin pondered the decision of confronting Galactus, there were individuals on Earth gazing up at the sky.
Himalaya, Kamartaj.
A highly skilled sorcerer stood atop the mountain, gazing solemnly at the sky above her. With her unwavering dedication, she had successfully defended the Earth against numerous adversaries throughout the years. She consistently ensured the safety of the Earth, even in the darkest of times. However, this time, it had a distinct variation. She experienced a loss of confidence for the first time. Even when confronted with Dormammu, the formidable lord of the Dark Dimension, she exuded unwavering confidence in her ability to emerge victorious. However, the threat this time was significantly more frightening than Dormammu. A deity known as the Planet Devourer is one of the five gods. This was the existence that instilled fear in many cosmic civilizations. Galactus gazed upon the Earth, a grim fate awaiting all life on the planet. Considering this, Yao let out another sigh. It was crucial to anticipate Galactus being at its most vulnerable state. There was still an opportunity to fight in this situation. Otherwise, everyone would simply have to wait for the inevitable end. Curiously, Yao's mind wandered to Naruto. She had witnessed the immense power of Naruto in the mirror space. Perhaps Naruto had a potential opportunity to face off against Galactus and play a crucial part in rescuing them from this catastrophic event. However, Yao did not approach Naruto directly. She preferred not to use her authority to oppress others. If she requested Naruto's assistance in addressing the current crisis and taking action to protect the Earth, it was only a matter of time before she would be suspected of moral kidnapping. She patiently anticipated Naruto's decision. Naruto was also closely observing this catastrophe. He was aware of Galactus' arrival before NASA was. Now, Naruto himself was unaware of his own strength. He was aware of his exceptional strength. From the moment Galactus was still distant from Earth, Naruto sensed his impending arrival. This type of frightening perception was not previously accessible. It was only when Naruto acquired the body template of ancient Doomsday that he gained this ability. Are you interested in taking action? Naruto was deep in thought. Galactus was approaching rapidly, and there was a sense of urgency. If he failed to take action, the Earth would be devoured by Galactus, and there was no other conclusion. Because as far as these superheroes on Earth were concerned, confronting the Planet Devourer was clearly out of the question. Iron Man had recently matured, and had not yet reached the stage where he had created numerous armors to counter XX. Hulk was still in the early stages of adjusting to his immense strength, leaving everyone uncertain about how close he was to achieving his full potential. Thor, known for his mastery of thunder, remained a deity associated with hammers. He had yet to realize his own potential, much less the power of Odin. Black Phoenix was still in a state of captivity under the watchful eye of Professor X, yet to be set free. Regarding the Scarlet Witch, it is uncertain of her current whereabouts. The powerful magic has the potential to reset the entire universe. It was clearly distant in the foreseeable future. Regarding Yao, Hela, and Captain Marvel, their strength was truly remarkable, reaching the level of a deity. They were not opposed to Galactus in any way. Since Galactus was not currently in a significantly weakened state, it was evident that he was still quite formidable. After careful consideration, Naruto realized that he was the sole individual capable of averting Galactus' imminent destruction of the Earth. Naruto had no interest in assuming the role of a hero, as he found it to be excessively burdensome. However, the current situation dictated that Naruto could only fulfill the role of a hero. Otherwise, the Earth would cease to exist. Naruto felt a sense of helplessness in this situation. Unfortunately, the majority of the heroes were compelled to leave. Indeed, Naruto had already made up his mind to take action. What other options are there? It would be a relief for the Earth to be rid of him and avoid the chilling consequences. Naruto had a multitude of industries on the Earth. How could he possibly be okay with their destruction? Furthermore, Naruto openly acknowledged his deep affection for the Earth. Even though the world had changed, the planet remained the same. Prior to confronting Galactus, Naruto made a stop at the manor. Given his determination to thwart Galactus, Naruto naturally sought to extend a cordial greeting to Hela. Naruto, being the wise individual that he is, would never reveal his plans so easily. He simply had to find a reason to go out. Regarding Hela's identity, Naruto had no intention of inquiring. Naruto was confident that Hela would agree. So what's the big deal? Hela wanted to tell herself. It is expected that she would confess. There was no need to be overly concerned. Anyway, did he still have concerns about Hela's potential escape? As usual, Naruto prepared a substantial meal. During the dinner conversation, Naruto and Hela discussed his intention to go out. Hela, confidently, nodded to indicate her understanding. In addition to reminding Naruto to prioritize safety and return promptly, there was nothing else to discuss. Hela was completely unaware of Naruto's purpose, and she had no knowledge of the matter involving Galactus. She was different from Yao, who possessed the Time Stone's blessing. She did not possess the eyes of Heimdall, nor did she belong to the realm of Asgard. It would be unusual for Hela to have knowledge of Galactus without reliable sources of information. Through her involvement with the Hydra organization, she discovered that a black hole was rapidly approaching the Earth. This seemed like a minor issue to Hela. Perhaps regular individuals were so alarmed that they believed black holes were insurmountable natural catastrophes. However, Hela was aware of the Earth's vast water reserves. Odin and the Supreme Sorcerer were two formidable forces, to say the least. If it's just a regular black hole, these two major powers could easily resolve it. Therefore, she didn't pay much attention to the black hole. However, Hela had a different priority on her mind. That was quite impressive. Hela was already aware that Asgard had discovered her, thanks to Frigga. This was not a significant event. Hela had no desire to conceal herself from Asgard. However, what really mattered was Odin's perspective on Naruto. Odin was more likely to take action based on Frigga's warning, which remained fresh in his mind. There was no need for speculation, Hela. Odin was clearly displeased that she had chosen a mortal as her husband. Maybetter, according to Odin, doing so alone was staining the bloodline of Odin's family. But what's the significance? Hela appreciated him on her own terms, and that's sufficient. And considering Odin's furious expression, Hela experienced a certain satisfaction fueled by a desire for revenge. Experienced individual, I simply want to frustrate you before you rectify your errors. Hela maintained her composure and dignity throughout. Odin's immense power posed a significant danger to Naruto. If Odin unintentionally caused Naruto's demise, Hela made a solemn pledge to lose her sanity. Thus, Hela was contemplating strategies to maximize the protection of Naruto's life. She had no need to be concerned about herself. It would have been impossible for Odin to defeat her without risking the destruction of Asgard. Naturally, Hela would have this concern, primarily due to her lack of comprehension regarding Naruto's power. If Hela had knowledge of Naruto's current strength, there would be no room for doubt or confusion. At that time, she would have welcomed Odin's arrival to stir up some trouble with Naruto. Currently, there were still 2 days remaining until the Galactus arrived on Earth. As always, Naruto woke up early to prepare breakfast for Hela. Little did he realize that on this day, the inhabitants of the planet were losing their minds. The experienced individuals who were aware of the truth anxiously anticipated the conclusion. Regarding those who were not privy to the truth until their passing, they were still pondering the reason behind the unusual silence that enveloped the world today. All countries' militaries mobilized their full strength, prepared to fight fiercely. If people didn't put in the necessary effort to survive, they would have no options available to them. It was quite unconventional to engage in combat with black holes using technological weaponry, but they seemed to have no other choice. Witness the final display of fireworks right before the end. The most magnificent fireworks, honoring human civilization, that was nearing its conclusion. In addition, at S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury was on the verge of losing his sanity. He reached out to all the superheroes in his network. Upon receiving the news, Tony Stark immediately halted his research on the new Mark series armor and swiftly made his way to the S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters. The Fantastic Four concluded their adventures and arrived in New York City as a united team. Dr. Banner successfully completed his arduous escape and swiftly made his way towards New York City, accompanied by S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Even the mutants had been invited by S.H.I.E.L.D. to take part in this final carnival, because there was a widespread belief that humans were on the brink of extinction this time. Before the black hole, the superheroes who were still inexperienced today had no chance to defend themselves. Naruto was unaware of these matters, oblivious to the desperation that had befallen certain individuals due to the arrival of Galactus. After breakfast, Naruto bid farewell to Hela. He then traveled to a suburb of New York City. Ensuring that he would go unnoticed, Naruto discreetly exited the vehicle. With a slight squat, he effortlessly soared into the sky in the blink of an eye. After acquiring General Zod's body template and the ancient Doomsday body template, Naruto now possesses a formidable arsenal. He possessed a remarkable ability to fly, with an astonishingly fast speed that surpassed the sound barrier upon takeoff. A large cone-shaped sonic burst cloud formed behind Naruto. This outcome was a direct result of Naruto intentionally managing his speed. Otherwise, excessive speed could potentially impact the Earth's atmosphere. Despite this, Naruto managed to quickly escape the Earth's orbit and officially entered outer space. After determining a course, Naruto swiftly vanished into the vastness of outer space. A cluster of dark voids was swiftly traversing the vast expanse of outer space, not too distant from the solar system. From an earthly perspective, it is clear that the black area depicted in this scene poses a significant threat to our planet, none other than the formidable black hole. It was one of the five gods, specifically the planet Devourer. A silver figure was consistently flying at the periphery of the black hole. This is Silver Surfer, a superhero from outer space. It's worth noting that Silver Surfer was still serving as an envoy under Galactus during this period. He played a crucial role in assisting Galactus in locating a suitable planet for consumption. At this point, the Silver Surfer halted his motions and concentrated on the front. In his line of sight, an unfamiliar object was rapidly approaching. The mystery thing materialized in front of the Silver Surfer in a flash. A person who was inherently Naruto. Looking at the Silver Surfer, who was treading on a silver board in front of him, and the enormous black hole, Naruto recognized Galactus and his entourage. The two parties had no intention of conversing, and they couldn't communicate at all in space. Talking with a hammer prevented the sound from spreading. Naruto arrived this time. His intention was to cause problems to deter Galactus, so there was no need to speak. So it was time to start the battle right away, as was the proper course of action. Naruto ran towards the Silver Surfer first, intending to kill Galactus' ambassador before confronting him. The Silver Surfer was caught aback, but he responded fast, extending his palm to shoot a cosmic ray. Silver Surfer was very powerful, rivaling or surpassing Heavenly Father, because his lord, Galactus, granted him a strong cosmic force with exaggerated battle abilities. In the film, there was even a performance that concluded Galactus. Of course, it was the exceedingly weak form of Galactus. However, this demonstrated that the Silver Surfer was not a weakling. After all, even Galactus is in a very feeble condition. Fighting it needed at least Heavenly Father-level power. It's only that the Silver Surfer was really powerful, and Naruto was even stronger. Naruto's power was amplified by just having General Zod's physical template. Every Kryptonian was a comparison. Additionally, there existed an ancient Doomsday body template. This was an existence that, at its zenith, was capable of viciously combating the existence of the most powerful DC villain, Darkseid. Naruto did not even try to evade the cosmic ray thrown by the Silver Surfer, instead facing it immediately. After the physical body deflected the cosmic radiation, Naruto was not only unharmed. Instead, he became stronger. Then, to the Silver Surfer's amazement, Naruto hit him. This punch was so strong that it may destroy an Earth-like planet. However, despite this hit, the Silver Surfer survived. He just soared for innumerable lengths before collapsing into a coma from terrible injuries. He wasn't sure how long he'd be floating in space. Perhaps the Silver Surfer would not cease floating across space until he was grabbed by the gravity of a certain planet. Naruto's strength may be described as fearsome. This was still the case when Naruto didn't reach his full ability. In theory, Doomsday might continue to develop autonomously and become stronger. However, the most effective strategy to develop swiftly with the Doomsday body design was to continue battling. Only through countless injuries and near-deaths would Doomsday become stronger. Naruto was clearly not competent in this aspect, because, since obtaining the Doomsday body template, he has not been close to death. This also prevented Naruto from fully using ancient Doomsday's power. The Doomsday body template did not resemble General Zod's Kryptonian God of War body template, which increased stronger when exposed to sunlight. Nonetheless, Naruto's present fighting abilities were inflated. However, Naruto was not complacent. Galactus was the actual adversary, not Silver Surfer. After all, Galactus gave the Silver Surfer his strength. Silver Surfer has incredible strength. How could Galactus be weak? Naruto's opinion, Galactus, one of the 5 gods, was at the depths of this black hole. Naruto did not hesitate before plunging into the dark hole. The black hole was the most horrifying object in the cosmos, representing the junction of all physics and the ultimate existence. However, the black hole could not kill the present Naruto. After all, he was a guy with a Doomsday physique. Naruto felt an almost endless gravitational pull as soon as he approached the black hole's boundary. These gravitational forces slowed Naruto's progress into the black hole's depths. At the same moment, the force of gravity was working hard to rip Naruto's body apart. Naruto had previously seen a popular scientific show. It was stated that a person would be devoured by a black hole. They would be pulled into an incredibly long, thin thread. This small line could never reach the core of the black hole since the time flow within it was almost infinite. Naruto was non-committal about it. He was able to go within the black hole since he did not believe time had frozen. Naruto struggled with the gravity that exerted pressure on him at first, but he quickly adjusted. The Doomsday body template was operating. What Naruto didn't realize was that the reason he didn't feel time was frozen was because he had fully separated himself from it. Time could not hold him back, so he could freely explore within the black hole. In the Marvel Universe, temporal separation was nearly the norm for the powerful. If you can't run away from it, you don't deserve to be called strong. The Time Stone's ability was very potent, yet it was rendered useless in the face of true strength. Dormammu, the Dark Dimension's Emperor, was not bound by time. Doctor Strange could only use the Time Stone to irritate Dormammu by repeatedly replaying his own demise. It was impossible to traverse the history and behead the youthful Dormammu. Dormammu had removed himself from time. His history was completely untraceable in the vast river of time. Furthermore, if the law of time worked against Dormammu, he would not be bothered by the unending cycle of time. Because, even if time continues to repeat itself, Dormammu should murder Doctor Strange for the first time each time, and he will not get bored. Dormammu was capable of defying time, and Naruto was no exception. Naruto traveled into the black hole's extended gravitational ring. He walked right to the core of the black hole and touched the singularity. Naruto's form vanished, and he found himself in a weird realm. This was the interior of the actual black hole, another universe. The singularity was only a conduit into this universe. In this world, Naruto spotted several floating planets. At the same moment, Naruto saw Galactus, a deity whose body was greater than hundreds of planets. If Naruto was correct, these planets should have been eaten up by Galactus over many years. The black hole was only a tool for Galactus, and this universe served as his stomach. Galactus would finally devour all of the worlds he had swallowed. While Naruto was staring at Galactus, Galactus was also looking at him. However, Galactus didn't take Naruto seriously. Even if Naruto could go through the black hole, even if he is beyond the vast river of time. But how many powerful individuals in the Marvel Universe have defied the laws of time? There were just too many to count. However, the 5 great gods were always 5. It wasn't that there were no competitors. On the contrary, there were other contenders seeking to replace the 5 gods. What about the end result? Those competitors had died. So Galactus has the audacity to disregard all life. An interesting little item. Explain your aims. If there is no plausible answer, Maybe you will be my next envoy." The roar of Galactus blasted out from this world, but Naruto wasn't shocked. Simply said, "Galactus created this world and has complete authority over its laws. Even in space, the music might spread since Galactus created this cosmos. It's really simple. This planet you want cannot be consumed by you. You should change your eating goal." When Naruto faced Galactus, he did not immediately start fighting. There were still some concerns with his heart. After all, what was Galactus' physical size? Yes, but you have to pay the price. Did you know that a long time ago, someone asked me to let go of his hometown star? Do you know what the end consequence is? Galactus spoke indifferently. His voice was icy and emotionless. Yet it also sounded like an omniscient deity watching over the muddy planet. "You mean the Silver Surfer, the one who rode on the silver board?" Naruto shared his guess. After all, he knew nothing about the Silver Surfer's origins. "Yes, that is the one. He became my envoy, and I fulfilled my promise and let go of his home star. If you want to save your home planet, you must also become my messenger and find a new planet for me to devour in the universe." Galactus issued his own terms. He admired Naruto's power and wanted to accept him as a subordinate. Naruto could not agree to this requirement. He has a wife. Hela was still waiting for him. And given Naruto's personality, he had no desire to be someone else's subordinate, even if the opponent was one of the 5 gods, namely Galactus. If this is the case, then maybe we have to have one fight. Naruto was unconcerned and raised the condition of his whole body to the top. A conflict was unavoidable. Galactus' might was undeniable, and the present Galactus was far from feeble. Naruto's doomsday body template was strong, but he didn't fully develop it. When they actually began battling, Naruto had no idea who would win, but Naruto was certain that he would not lose. It's a huge thing to die, revive, and develop several times. Galactus did not anticipate Naruto to be so powerful. But, eventually, Galactus decided to inform Naruto that the grandeur of the 5 gods could not be angered. Over the years, he encountered many arrogant and powerful guys. It's merely that after being pummeled by Galactus, those powerful individuals learned to be courteous. Naruto, from his perspective, was no exception. Galactus lifted his right hand for a minute, flattening his palm and transforming it into a massive palm the size of a globe before patting Naruto. Countless worlds were damaged and crushed under this massive palm. The might of the 5 gods may be envisioned. In reality, the so-called cosmos was too frail to support this level. Almost all 5 gods have the ability to simply destroy the cosmos. Faced with Galactus' massive palm attack, Naruto immediately refused. He delivered a blow to the hand that was continually pushing down. Naruto utilized all of his power to deliver this punch, but the conclusion was harsh. The strength disparity between Naruto and Galactus was significant. Under Galactus' palm, he sustained a significant loss, making it impossible for him to compete. Naruto was not melancholy but rather disturbed in his heart. He could obviously feel his evolutionary speed and strength rising. The ancient doomsday was a glitch. The more it battled, the stronger it became. The main talent was to survive and develop. In the DC universe, even Superman with the Code of Life saw Doomsday as his mortal adversary. In the Marvel universe, Galactus would be lucky to see the horror of Doomsday. On Earth, superheroes united to make one final fight for humanity. The military of numerous nations was likewise prepared, and all of the armaments collected over the years were about to show up. It was intended to display the most dazzling fireworks for the demise of human civilization. At this point, even a gathering of jerks who knew nothing sensed something was wrong. Today, the world was too silent. However, just as everyone was preparing to battle hard, NASA suddenly released news that shocked everyone. The black hole, it won't move anymore. Not only were scientists from all around the globe stunned by the announcement, even Nick Fury was baffled. So black holes can still brake like cars? Don't ask, they had not witnessed this scenario. Or, shall we wait? Looking at a throng of superheroes preparing in front of him, Nick Fury remarked something unusual. There was a gleam of optimism in his heart. Perhaps there will be a turnaround. The other superheroes glanced at each other and nodded softly. So, what else? Could you really expect them to cope with this black hole? They did not want to die. Wasn't it lovely to be alive? In the Galactus reality, the conflict between Naruto and Galactus was still ongoing. To be more exact, it was not a battle. Naruto was being battered to a pulp. Galactus could only become the five gods' disgrace when he was terribly vulnerable. However, the Galactus Naruto was now confronting was far from feeble. His fighting abilities were scary. He destroyed a planet at will. Opening his lips unleashed a stunning cosmic beam. This battle power was quite astounding. But Naruto's performance was even more obscene. Naruto initially struggled to withstand Galactus' onslaught. However, when Naruto was struck more often, his transformation accelerated. He could barely shatter his wrist with Galactus. Naruto launched another boom assault on Galactus. This time, Naruto destroyed the large hand that Galactus had photographed. Galactus' expressionless and apathetic countenance displayed signs of pain for the first time. Although this sad face disappeared quickly, Naruto captured it. "You are unique. No wonder you dare to confront me." After a little defeat, Galactus stopped attacking. He watched Naruto and talked softly. Galactus was quite interested in Naruto right now. After all, such intriguing people were uncommon. Could not be beaten to death. Couldn't be shattered, and the liveliness was incredible. What was even more exaggerated was the pace at which they gained strength. Naruto seemed to get stronger with each strike. Galactus had never seen this kind of entity before, so he was naturally curious. "You're also incredibly powerful. You deserve to be one of the five gods." Naruto also expressed genuine surprise about Galactus' might. Naruto just learned now, after facing Galactus, that he had been arrogant in the past. He believed he could walk sideways in the Marvel Universe by obtaining the Doomsday body template. Who knew the sea in the Marvel Universe was so deep? Doomsday was certainly odd, but it also needed to be developed. Naruto's attitude on a daily basis has not changed much. This was also the primary reason Naruto had problems dealing with Galactus in the first place. Doomsday's body template was not weak, rather. Naruto was too indolent. Even yet, Naruto continued to use the Doomsday body pattern. He not only survived the fight with Galactus, but he also advanced quickly through numerous evolutionary stages. Now, he could hardly compete with the contemporary Galactus. Many individuals believed Galactus was little more than that because of his shameful accomplishments. However, Galactus had exceptional strength, a kind of extreme strength. The Infinity Gauntlet had the power to wipe half of the universe with a single snap of its fingers, yet it was still no match for Galactus. To be more specific, it was not an opponent of the five gods. Naruto was able to defeat Galactus with his own power, which was already impressive. "So, how about we make an agreement? As long as you can take my final blow, I shall give up your home planet and never utilize it as nourishment." Finally, Galactus suggested a compromise, and Naruto agreed after considering it. Galactus proposed this condition, which effectively let the world go by default. After all, Galactus had seen Naruto's abilities and did not believe he could kill him with a single hit. In reality, the most effective approach to cope with Doomsday was to eradicate it. The same held true with Naruto. Fighting with him was foolish since Naruto refused to die. Exiling Naruto to the unknown world was the best method to deal with him. Naruto saw his vulnerability and had already devised countermeasures in his heart. After his meeting with Galactus, Naruto returned to learn the Supreme Sorcerer's teleportation skill. Even if he were exiled to an unknown space, Naruto could readily return. This was a preventative strategy to eradicate his deficiencies in advance. Seeing that Naruto had agreed to his terms, Galactus ceased hesitating, and his two massive pupils shone with unending light. Then, cosmic energy akin to a gamma ray burst exploded from Galactus' lips, aimed specifically at Naruto. Naruto did not sit down and await death. His pupils likewise blazed in the dreadful brightness. Naruto then launched an equally scary cosmic energy beam from his lips. Naruto's Doomsday body pattern caused him to immediately copy this move after being attacked by Galactus. It was strong enough to permeate a whole planet. The cosmic rays released by Naruto and Galactus collided after killing several worlds. Then, a frightening roar resounded like the Big Bang. Before the catastrophic explosion decimated surrounding worlds, Galactus took the lead in suppressing everything that may happen. Soon, the place became chilly and lifeless again. Galactus stared at Naruto with somewhat more approval in his eyes. Only the strong deserve the respect of the powerful. Naruto was like this, utilizing his own power to defeat one of the 5 gods. As you wish, I will let go of your home planet. Galactus had no intention of breaking his commitment, he just acknowledged what he had stated before. This was one of Galactus' advantages. This deity was both benevolent and wicked. He has battled with and against superheroes. He never broke any of his commitments, however. The procedure was quite challenging. Fortunately, Naruto was ultimately successful. He not only withstood Galactus' intense pressure, but also swiftly increased his power. At the same time, he successfully convinces Galactus to abandon the notion of consuming the Earth. Naruto's mission was totally accomplished. In actuality, Naruto had no idea that Galactus had released go of the planet simply because he didn't want to squander his own energy. Galactus was never satisfied as the planet's devourer throughout the year. His energy was limited, and the only way to restore it was to consume a planet. This also explains why the benefit was not proportionate to the effort. The fact that Galactus gave up was very typical. After all, it is the same for every other planet. Why bother with the Earth? Furthermore, Naruto's performance took Galactus by surprise. Naruto, who was becoming more powerful, was already seen as being on par with a certain monster. Galactus obviously did not want to provoke him. Otherwise, if Naruto sought vengeance in the future, the days of Galactus would be very tough. Let's go. I won't be dealing with your home planet anymore. I should also look for new food. Galactus spoke to Naruto in a deep voice before reverting to his normally frigid tone. Naruto didn't plan to remain any longer, and he could already depart since his goal had been accomplished. I'm not sure how much time is gone. I hope I can prepare supper for Hela on time. Naruto reverted to his original path and soared easily out of the black hole. A black hole has a capture limit equal to the speed of light. As long as anything moved faster than light, it may be able to escape the black hole's range. Now, if Naruto utilized his full might in space, the speed of light would not be an issue. He quickly overcame the black hole's massive gravity. When Naruto saw the Azure planet, he accelerated and dashed away. Galactus appears after Naruto has departed. He directed the whole black hole to spin around and leave the solar system in a short amount of time. A calamity that had the potential to wipe out the whole planet was handled without anyone's knowledge. NASA operates on Earth. Following the disappearance of the black field that represents the black hole on the screen, countless researchers were astonished and could not recover, even after a lengthy period. After some time, the thunderous applause almost toppled the ceiling. Everyone was spewing the anguish of the previous several days. At the same moment, everyone, regardless of temperament, started to rejoice the fact that humanity and the planet had survived. After releasing their feelings, the researchers asked a series of questions. How could such a massive black hole dissipate inexplicably? Is this God's miracle? Or was the earlier black hole an illusion? Everyone had identical questions in their hearts when the situation subsided suddenly. However, the researchers immediately put this question to the bottom of their hearts and proceeded to provide diverse reports. They were finally safe. There were still many individuals on Earth who were desperate and willing to die. It is also time to inform the world that God has blessed the globe. United States, Department of Defense. In the midst of the oval-shaped conference table, the president sat, his head in his hands, attentively absorbing the reports of those gathered below. In contrast to the typical political discussions, the majority of individuals seated at the oval conference table were military personnel. Sir, the 132 nuclear bombs at our base are prepared for launch at any given moment. Sir, all 154 nuclear bombs at our base are prepared and operational, awaiting your orders. Please place your order. Allow us to utilize the most powerful tool at our disposal to personally bid farewell to the conclusion of human civilization. A military leader of high rank addressed the of in a respectful manner. Every aspect of their arsenal was meticulously organized and ready. Once the president issued commands, numerous weapons would ascend into space, initiating the downfall of humanity. This was a common occurrence not only in the USA but also in other countries. When confronted with the black hole, humans appeared incredibly insignificant. Unless there was a way to prevent it, the Earth would inevitably face extinction. I understand, but kindly hold on. The president had a deeper understanding than individuals in the military. He was aware of the peculiar halt of the black hole. He made the decision to wait. Perhaps there could be a positive change. Despite his awareness that the likelihood of this possibility was extremely low. However, at this moment, the door of the conference room was abruptly pushed open, and the individual once again entered without any regard for etiquette. Mr. President, NASA has some urgent and positive news to share with you. The black hole has vanished, and our crisis has been resolved. The minister, who was highly experienced and skilled, hurriedly made his way, displaying signs of anxiety as he gasped for breath. However, everyone here attentively listened to his report and didn't want to miss a single word. Upon receiving the news, a wave of excitement swept over everyone. This was the experience of enduring a catastrophe. However, eventually, certain individuals regained their composure. Is this news accurate? Was he speaking incoherently? Did he deceive us? At times, the rapid fluctuations can have a significant impact, making it relatively simple to shift one's mindset. The president rose swiftly from his chair, defying the limitations of his age. He promptly approached the trusted minister to obtain the NASA report. Upon verifying the accuracy of the report, the elderly gentleman, aged 70, was overwhelmed with joy and couldn't hold back his tears. This was a significant improvement from a terrible situation to a much better one. Upon receiving the news from NASA, Nick Fury's expression remained unchanged, displaying his professionalism. Upon noticing, Nick Fury became aware that all the individuals in the room were gazing at him with anticipation. "Excuse me, how is the situation?" Someone took the initiative and asked Nick Fury, displaying a hint of impatience. Even the superheroes were captivated by the report sheet in Nick Fury's hands. Tony Stark felt compelled to have Jarvis hack into NASA to assess the situation. With composure and control, Nick Fury finally spoke, taking a moment to collect himself before addressing the situation. In a confident and composed manner, Nick Fury calmly stated, based on NASA's most recent findings, it appears that the black hole has vanished. Humanity once again emerged victorious from the brink of disaster. Nick Fury made a sincere effort to uphold his composed demeanor, yet the slight curl of his lips gave away his true emotions. It is evident that the news was confirmed with great certainty. He displayed remarkable self-control in restraining his desire to jump and celebrate. However, Nick Fury couldn't help but feel perplexed by the stunned reactions of everyone after he delivered the positive news. The supposed enthusiasm was to go from the low point to the high point. The supposed redemption was to transition from despair to hope. At this moment, everyone who was aware of the black hole's disappearance and the safety of the Earth couldn't contain their overwhelming excitement, and began expressing their inner emotions freely. They were in a state of extreme desperation and helplessness when confronted with a black hole. Thankfully, all of that was finally behind us, and the troublesome black hole president vanished. Everyone was overcome with joy and excitement. Many individuals who were aware of the truth took to Twitter to share their belief that a divine blessing had been bestowed upon the Earth. However, following the carnival, a rather embarrassing issue arose for everyone. That was, how was the black hole able to vanish? After the carnival, people were left pondering this question. Some individuals believed that the entire situation was a grand conspiracy, with divine intervention playing a humorous role in the affairs of humanity. There was no scientific evidence to support the existence of black holes, as NASA had made a significant error. Otherwise, it was impossible to account for the abrupt arrival and vanishing of the black hole. There were individuals who believed in the existence of a mysterious guardian, silently protecting the safety of our planet from a hidden realm. However, this speculation was met with widespread ridicule as soon as it came out. That seems to be a very challenging situation. What type of superhero would have the ability to repel a black hole? Even if the most skilled expert in the field attempted it, this task would still be impossible. Indeed, the Marvel Universe featured deities and celestial beings. In the earliest days, God guided his angels to disseminate his orthodoxy on the earth. Then, ruthless warmonger crossed paths with a divine being. He was sealed in another realm, specifically the 10th realm above the 9 realms. Odin was the one who sealed God and the angels. Odin's strength remained formidable, although his recent activity had noticeably decreased. Incidentally, while numerous individuals were investigating the cause behind the black hole's vanishing. At the peak of the Himalayas lies Kamartaj. Yao stood confidently, her hands clasped behind her back, gazing towards the west with a sense of relief in her eyes. Unlike other individuals who lacked knowledge, the Supreme Sorcerer Yao was aware of the entity responsible for repelling Galactus. She was extremely pleased. At last, Naruto made his decision and transformed into a hero working behind the scenes. She found this to be quite similar. She was a person who carried herself with professionalism. When other superheroes saved the world from a catastrophe, they aimed for global recognition. However, she stood out from the rest. She has diligently protected the Earth for thousands of years, successfully fending off numerous covert adversaries. Yao's accomplishments remained largely unknown. Even at Kamartaj, her numerous victories against invading enemies remained unknown to most. Naruto's approach closely resembled Yao's. She felt a strong connection with Naruto. It was unfortunate that Naruto was not chosen to be her successor and was unable to attain the position of the second Supreme Mage. However, Naruto's exceptional strength rendered the need for him to hold the position of the second Supreme Mage unnecessary. Little did Yao know, Naruto made the bold decision to stand up and confront Galactus. Not because he was compelled to be a hero, nor due to the harsh criticism on Earth. He simply had no desire to reside on another planet. In addition, Naruto had numerous industries on the Earth. He was determined to prevent the destruction of the Earth. As people pondered the truth behind the black hole incident, Asgard, ruling from the throne of the King of Gods, Odin received the information that Galactus had been repelled. Odin remained unfazed by this news. The Galactus' strength exhibited inconsistent fluctuations. It relied on his personal condition. When Galactus was at the height of his power, no one could stand against him. During a moment of vulnerability, Galactus was stripped of the favor of the 5 deities. Odin was certain that he could fend off Galactus even in a severely weakened condition. Odin pondered the true orchestrator behind Galactus' retreat. Supreme Sorcerer Yao? Most likely. With an impressive tenure of protecting Midgard for countless millennia, even Odin himself would be left in awe by the great mage. Wei Shan, a highly skilled individual, was not excluded. Emperor Weishan's strength remained formidable as the wielder of Yao's white magic, and he had an air of intrigue surrounding him. It is known that they prefer a secluded lifestyle on the Earth and seldom intervene. Even Odin was unaware of the immense power possessed by Emperor Weishan, but it was undeniable that they were a force to be reckoned with. Regarding Hela, Odin believed it was an impossible task. Given Hela's character, Odin recognized the futility of her attempting to combat Galactus for the sake of Earth. After careful consideration, Odin determined that the best candidate to confront Galactus would be the Supreme Mage, who displayed unwavering courage. Up until now, the consequences of Galactus' arrival have been contained, and Odin didn't spend much time dealing with this issue. When it comes to receiving Odin's attention, Hela truly outshined Galactus. Hela's strength and potential were unquestionable, given her status as Odin's eldest daughter. While she stood on the land of Asgard, her strength had the potential to grow without limits. Just based on this, Hela's potential exceeded Odin's. Thus, Odin consistently regarded his eldest daughter as a trusted companion. Odin was acutely aware that his time was limited. Hela needs to be addressed promptly in order to establish a strong foundation for the future ruler of Asgard to assume the throne. During his younger years, he was highly involved in combat and unfortunately endured a severe injury. Now that his life was nearing its conclusion, it was time to contemplate finding a suitable successor. Initially, Hela seemed to be the most suitable candidate for the heir, but regrettably, she turned out to be dishonest. In addition to Hela, there was only Thor. Loki was incredibly challenging. In addition to Loki's bloodline, Loki's immense potential alone made it impossible for him to ascend to the throne of the gods. The God King's strength in Asgard is unrivaled and unchangeable. With the power of Loki, It was more fitting for him to support the God King, even if he didn't attain the position of the God King. Thor, causing Odin a great deal of pain in his head. Thor's recent actions on Earth were highly regarded by Odin. This individual, similar to their offspring Hela, had an affinity for mortals. This unfortunate incident at home, whenever he thought about it, Odin experienced a sense of melancholy. He exuded an air of regal authority over the 9 realms. He had extensive experience in the universe and had established a strong reputation. In his later years, finding a suitable heir became increasingly challenging. Hela displayed a challenging personality and had a strong inclination towards violence. Thor was the second one, and he had yet to mature. He requested Thor's presence on Earth, but now Thor seemed hesitant to return. Despite his advanced age, Odin felt a strong desire to increase his efforts and have another child with Frigga. Hela's matter requires immediate attention. This issue needs to be resolved. Regarding Thor, it would be beneficial for him to mature and assume the responsibilities of a genuine ruler. Odin let out a deep sigh as he reflected on his life. He felt a sense of remorse for past actions from his youth. If he had shown more concern for her, Hela might not have become who she is today. Hela recently came across an issue. There was an issue with Naruto's eyes, as they had been displaying increasingly unusual behavior lately. If she had to provide a description of them, they were most likely saying, "So you must be Hela." Occasionally, Naruto would find himself filled with unexplainable excitement during the nighttime. He would frequently disturb her throughout the night, preventing her from getting any sleep. Incidentally, Naruto's physical prowess was steadily increasing. Hela began to feel a sense of being overwhelmed. Every indication made it clear to Hela. Perhaps Naruto was aware of her true identity. Undoubtedly, this was merely Hela's speculation. There was no conclusive evidence. However, it also instilled a strong sense of urgency in Hela. She came to the realization that the showdown may have occurred recently. Indeed, Hela's guess was correct. Naruto was aware of her true identity. However, there was no alternative solution. Whether she was a regular girl named Hela or the princess of Asgard Hela, she was his spouse. Upon discovering Hela's true identity, Naruto's curiosity was piqued even further regarding certain aspects. He always regarded Hela, who possessed innate power and authority, as a divine being. Naruto always experienced a deep sense of fulfillment in his heart. Frankly, it was the ego of an individual, believing that his spouse was exceptional, just like someone envisioning a major achievement. Indeed, there were numerous young women who bore a striking resemblance to prominent celebrities. However, the presence of that prominent figure was incredibly captivating. Hela remained unchanged. Naruto felt a deep sense of fulfillment in the presence of that goddess. It had been over a month since Naruto successfully repelled Galactus. During this period, Naruto and Hela enjoyed a tranquil existence, undisturbed by any outside interference. Naruto found the rewards given by the system during this period of time to be quite difficult to put into words. Perhaps when he last drew the ancient doomsday body template, he had excessively relied on luck. Sign in successfully and receive the secret recipe for a delicious burger from the crab boss as a reward. Upon successful sign-in, you will be rewarded with 3 copies of our delectable sweet stuffed chicken. Upon successfully signing in, you will be rewarded with a copy of a child's drawing practice. Sign in successfully and receive a reward of $1 million. Upon successful sign-in, you will be rewarded with a rare and highly sought-after copy of Mao Wang that is currently out of print. There were numerous exceptional rewards that were difficult to put into words. The only thing that proved to be of value was a combat uniform that is impervious to damage. Naturally, the primary purpose of this battle suit was to ensure its durability and resistance to damage. There was no advantage in combat power whatsoever. Ever since that time, the system check-in made Naruto question whether he had somehow altered the system, or did it imply that his European spirit had been influenced by his striking appearance. There is a belief that attractive individuals often face unfortunate circumstances. Naruto considered the possibility of this being true. Despite some hiccups in the system rewards, Naruto remained highly content with other areas of his life. The world had been thoroughly cleansed. He would no longer be bothered by anyone. The Shield Bureau also learned their lesson and refrained from bothering Naruto and his wife any further. They were aware of the need to exercise caution, but they felt compelled to test the waters regardless. In this situation, Shield would demonstrate a lack of intelligence. Nick Fury, despite his arrogance, despite the intense threat of death from Hela, he managed to maintain his composure. He was confident that if he dared to speak even slightly negatively about Hela, Hela would have the audacity to fatally stab him. Naruto struck fear into the hearts of the Brotherhood of Mutants as they faced the very real threat of annihilation. Despite the presence of mutants seeking vengeance for the actions of their leader, Magneto, many of them were unaware of the identity of Magneto's killer. Regarding the emerging superheroes, Naruto also took notice of them. However, unless the superheroes cause any issues for Naruto, he won't pay them any attention. Naruto seemed like a wanderer in this world, in my opinion. He observed all the events unfolding in this world with a detached demeanor, seldom getting involved. When Naruto was with Hela, he found a sense of belonging in this world. Immersed in the enchanting realm of Asgard, Hela couldn't help but be captivated by its timeless beauty. Hela walked with a slight sense of confusion, unable to comprehend how she had arrived at this location so suddenly. Where was Naruto? Just as Hela was trying to grasp the situation, a mysterious figure suddenly materialized before her. In regal attire, wielding a mighty weapon, stands the God King Odin. Odin, who appeared before Hela, bore a striking resemblance to her recollection of him. He remained distant and self-assured. Odin, the supposed meeting of adversaries, was filled with hostility. If you were to inquire about Hela's strongest aversion, it would undoubtedly be directed towards Odin. Upon sighting the figure standing before her, Hela swiftly unsheathed her sword and charged towards Odin. Now Hela was completely focused on her goal, eliminating the man standing before her, regardless of this man's biological connection to her. As Hela rushed towards him, a hint of disappointment flickered in Odin's eyes. Even after a significant amount of time had passed, Hela's temperament remained unchanged. She remained unchanged, just as she had always been. Impersonal, harsh, and ruthless. Odin, who had different expectations, was thoroughly let down upon witnessing Hela in this state. It appears that even after being sealed, you have yet to embrace the concept of repentance. Odin expressed his disapproval with a shake of his head and a sigh. It seemed that Hela's performance had let him down. It's just that Hela had no intentions of speaking with Odin. With a cold determination, she drove her sword through Odin's body without hesitation. Nevertheless, Odin's body appeared to lack any sense of reality. After being pierced by the sword, it transformed into a virtual form and solidified rapidly. This was not Odin himself. It was merely an apparition. Hela also regained her composure, but a glimpse of fierce determination flashed in her captivating eyes. Odin, who witnessed this scene, also felt a sense of frustration, realizing that there was little chance of finding common ground with Hela. Despite experiencing a headache, there were additional letdowns. A skilled ruler must master the art of emotional control and suppressing their instinct to kill. If you had acquired this knowledge, you would have been an ideal candidate to take over from me. Regrettably, it is not something that can be learned. Odin expressed his disapproval with a shake of his head and a sigh. If Hela had a more compassionate and peaceful nature, he would have retired long ago. Upon listening to Odin's words, Hela scoffed, doubting his words entirely. Furthermore, how did she attain her current position? Hela, the powerful deity of death, who nurtured her. Did this individual Odin actually forget? Unfortunately, it appears that our conversation will have to be postponed for today. So let's give you some time to relax. After speaking, Odin vanished, and the entire realm of Asgard was also destroyed. Suddenly, Hela's eyes snapped open, revealing that she was still lying on the bed. Reflecting on the conversation with Odin just now, Hela also appeared to have some uncertainties in her eyes. Is it a dream, or just an illusion? Odin had no trouble at all in creating an illusion. In Asgard, Odin closed his eyes wearily. Recently, he utilized Gungnir's extraordinary abilities to create a lifelike illusion. In that imaginary realm, Odin and Hela crossed paths. As expected, Hela remained determined for his demise. Upon seeing him, my initial instinct was to eliminate him. Considering this, Odin experienced a slight pang in his heart. His daughter saw him as a foe and made an attempt on his life upon their first encounter. It would be unfortunate if this happened to anyone, and Odin had a similar experience. But who could he hold responsible? Wasn't Hela also created by Odin himself? Indeed, Odin's intention in meeting Hela this time was to thoroughly assess her current character. He was curious to see if Hela had undergone any transformation. If Hela were able to look past the animosity of the past, Odin might contemplate granting her the role of the king of gods. Furthermore, Hela had a romantic partner of her own. She had developed a deep appreciation for love and had also experienced the joy of being loved. One could argue that the personality of an individual may undergo slight changes over time. It's unfortunate that she caused significant harm to Odin's face. Hela remained unchanged, holding on to her deep-seated animosity towards him. The initial response to the meeting was to express strong dissatisfaction. It was truly an act of deep respect and devotion. Odin had just conceived a new idea, and now his previous notion of bestowing the throne upon Hela had completely vanished. Hela, the current version, still clung to her deep-seated resentment from the past. She was clearly unfit to be a ruler of such magnitude, and the reason why Odin would suddenly take notice of Hela's character. Actually, he had no other option. Considering Thor's abilities, it is perplexing to understand how Odin could have conceived of Hela. It's quite challenging to find the right words to describe Thor. Odin witnessed all of Thor's recent actions on Earth. Odin believed that Thor was highly unfit to assume the role of the king of gods. Thor was highly qualified to be a hero or the most courageous fighter on the battlefield. Regarding his potential ascension as the ruler of gods, his leadership would undoubtedly steer Asgard towards ruin. Take a look at the positive impact Thor has had on Earth. He not only formed a friendship with a mortal, but also developed romantic feelings for one. He has recently become a member of an esteemed organization known as the Avengers after being deceived twice by a cleverly disguised dish. He relinquished the mantle of Thor to serve others. How could someone of that caliber become the ruler of the gods? Regarding the Avengers, it's worth noting that Nick Fury had already been making preparations. Amidst the previous black hole crisis, he seized the chance to assemble all the superheroes in one place. Thus, Nick Fury successfully assembled the Avengers. Today's Avengers featured a diverse group of members who possessed remarkable strength, surpassing that of the original Avengers in the story. Despite Captain America still being in a state of suspended animation on the ice, they included 4 additional superheroes, the Fantastic Four. Thor, a highly skilled individual, also became a member of this organization in a rather unexpected manner. Nevertheless, the Avengers, who had not encountered any obstacles, continued to pursue their own approach. Thor spent the entire day engaging in playful activities with Tony Stark. In the original plot, these two superheroes would engage in a significant battle, yet surprisingly, they possess strikingly similar qualities at this particular moment. Thor's performance on the Earth had a significant impact on Odin's decision-making. He started to feel concerned about the future appearance of Asgard under the leadership of Thor once he passed away. Due to this incident, Odin had the idea of reconsidering Hela. It's just that Hela also managed to disrupt his thoughts and made no effort to conceal her intense dislike for him. A well-established son was not fit to inherit, while a daughter who was fit to inherit had an especially strained relationship. Odin was currently facing this situation. He struggled to find a suitable successor, settling for someone who was less than ideal. Indeed, even in the realm of Marvel, it ultimately proved to be a less desirable world. Aside from meeting with Hela and getting acquainted with her, Odin also remembered Naruto, this individual who had engaged in a relationship with his daughter. Odin, of course, was reluctant to simply release him. Due to his actions, Naruto faced the consequences of tarnishing the noble lineage of Odin's family. After Odin concluded his illusion with Hela, he constructed a new illusion specifically targeting Naruto. This time, the meeting took place on a cliff overlooking the sea. Currently, Naruto was overwhelmed with confusion. He vividly recalled that he was taking a break. Why did he arrive here so quickly? Was it Yao? Right as Naruto was confused, Odin suddenly appeared, standing tall atop the clouds, wielding the mighty eternal spear Gungnir. I gazed down upon Naruto from a lofty vantage point. You dare challenge the bloodline of Odin's family? Prepare to face the consequences. I pronounced the sentence in Odin's name. You are condemned. If Odin confronted Hela burdened by guilt and remorse. When confronting Naruto, a strong sense of determination was evident, with clenched teeth. I was considering his daughter, who was involved in a relationship with a mortal. Odin was filled with intense anger. What was Naruto's reaction at this time? He suddenly discovered that the co-author was the elderly gentleman seeking to resolve their differences. Regarding Odin's killing intent, Naruto remained indifferent. He had previously encountered Galactus. Is Odin potentially superior to him? Odin's sudden appearance served as a wake-up call for Naruto. Despite his considerable strength, he still had noticeable weaknesses. One area that could be improved upon is the magic resistance, which was found to be relatively low. The template of General Zod did not imply that Kryptonians lacked any form of magic resistance. Did you witness the immense suffering Superman endured in the neighboring DC universe as a result of magic? Given the opponent's knowledge of magic, Superman faced a challenging battle. Regarding Doomsday, his immortality was quite remarkable, but his resistance to magic was truly indescribable. The foundational framework of Doomsday was constructed utilizing Kryptonian genetic material. Thus, Doomsday's magic resistance was quite lacking. He possessed an extraordinary longevity and proved to be quite resilient. However, the power of magic has the potential to weaken Doomsday and even bind him through mystical means. And Naruto had a similar demeanor. Naruto faced a formidable adversary who possessed an equally potent magical prowess as the supreme sorcerer. Odin's reappearance once again demonstrated this fact. Wasn't it Naruto's low magic resistance that allowed him to effortlessly draw Naruto into the illusion? As Naruto contemplated his current strengths and weaknesses, Odin was seething with anger. Sir, your actions have deeply hurt and disrespected both my daughter and our family. Respectful creature, cease to exist. Amidst Odin's wrath, a formidable storm of thunder amassed in his wake. It eventually formed a massive spear made of thunder. Cease. Odin let out a dismissive snort as he took full command of the thunder, hurling his lightning spear directly at Naruto. Given the force of this strike, not even a powerful deity like Thor could survive. Despite not having taken a shot for a while, Odin's skills remained strong. Even though Odin couldn't fully eliminate Naruto in this illusion, it was deemed acceptable to erase Naruto's soul. Ever since discovering that Hela was involved with a mortal, Odin's anger had not diminished. He was determined to eliminate that troublesome mortal, and now he has finally found the perfect chance. Regarding Naruto's innocence, Odin was indifferent. Throughout his life, he had traversed the universe, triumphed over the 9 realms, and tragically taken the lives of numerous innocents. Now, there was only one more individual who had yet to be implicated. He displayed a complete lack of interest. Observing the formidable spear poised to descend upon him with the force of cataclysmic thunder and the unmistakable aura of Odin's lethal intentions, Naruto's gaze also grew icy. Upon discovering the true identity of Hela, Naruto considered the possibility of reconciling the relationship between Odin and Hela. However, it appeared that this was no longer required. Given his malicious intentions towards me, it would be fitting for him to face the consequences. Naruto would find it difficult to accept the actions of this elderly individual solely based on Odin's relationship to Hela. Perhaps Hela had a stronger desire to eliminate Odin than Naruto did. Odin, observing Naruto from above the clouds, expressed disapproval. There was an issue with this situation. From a logical standpoint, under this immense power, shouldn't Naruto be scared? What's wrong with being so composed? Odin had a sense that something wasn't quite right, but he couldn't quite put his finger on it. However, it no longer held any significance. This individual was destined to perish, regardless. Right as the powerful spear of thunder was about to strike Naruto, Naruto clenched his fist and swiftly struck the thunder spear that was coming towards him. A tremendous surge of power erupted from Naruto's body, causing even this fantastical world to tremble on the brink of destruction. The formidable spear, forged by the forces of thunder and lightning, directly clashed with Naruto's fist. Then, the powerful spear crumbled instantly, and all the thunder was completely wiped away. When confronted with overwhelming authority, even the most formidable sorcery seemed feeble. A single punch has the potential to shatter any form of magic. Odin was clearly caught off guard by this unexpected outcome, and he remained in a state of disbelief as he gazed at the shattered divine spear. After years of battling, Odin finally came across a formidable opponent. When confronted with the formidable group of ancient celestial gods, Odin was left severely injured and on the brink of defeat. Among the many individuals who displayed great strength, Naruto stood out as truly exceptional. Naruto lacked sophisticated techniques, relying solely on his ultimate power. Against that punch, Odin's supernatural power seemed insignificant. Let yourself be unmatched. I will handle it with my own strength. This straightforward and disrespectful approach created a stark juxtaposition with the impact it had. So Odin experienced a feeling of unreality. Odin was particularly surprised by the impressive display of strength demonstrated by Naruto. Wasn't this person immortal? Shouldn't he allow himself to crawl on the ground like ants? What on earth was this? What caused your sudden increase in strength? Is this person still alive? Odin was utterly bewildered at this moment. Odin was taken aback, while Naruto remained unfazed. Even after obliterating the divine spear created by thunder, Naruto continued his relentless assault. Instead, he soared swiftly from the ground and charged towards Odin. Naruto was not the type to back down and refused to fight back, even after being beaten. Given Odin's hostile intentions, Naruto is determined to impart a valuable lesson to him. Despite Odin's invulnerability in the realm of fantasy, the experience was still enough to deeply embarrass him. When Odin finally regained his strength, it was already too late, since Naruto had already appeared in front of him. As Naruto's palm grew larger, his one eye could only observe the unfolding scene. Captured, Naruto delivered a strong slap to Odin, thoroughly relishing the experience. Regarding Odin, he was filled with rage and stared at Naruto in utter disbelief. Odin, the long-reigning king of gods, experienced a rare moment of humiliation despite his vast authority. However, this was merely an illusion. Naruto's strike landed not on his opponent's physical form, but rather on a cleverly crafted illusion. However, what stood out was Naruto's audacity to take action and deliver a resounding slap. This was a significant increase compared to the previous crime. This act completely disregarded the dignity of the God King. This was a highly unprofessional display of disrespect, with his majesty being thrown to the ground, stomped upon, and then spat upon. This was a disgrace for Asgard. Upon this realization, Odin was consumed with fury. No one had ever treated him in such a disrespectful manner before. Odin wanted to express his thoughts firmly to assert his authority. Regrettably, the fantasy world he crafted was utterly flawed. Ultimately, he found himself staring into Naruto's naive gaze, rendered speechless. The initial encounter between Naruto and Odin had concluded. Upon awakening, Naruto found himself face to face with a visibly concerned Hela. From the moment Naruto was pulled into the illusion, Hela detected an issue. Hela, who recently awakened from the illusion, immediately deduced that Odin was responsible for the attack on Naruto. Hela was filled with unease. She couldn't fathom the potential consequences if anything had befallen Naruto. She intended to eliminate everyone in Asgard as a means of seeking retribution for Naruto. Luckily, Naruto managed to wake up just in time and escaped unscathed from Odin's clutches. However, despite the circumstances, witnessing Naruto waking up was quite a sight. Hela embraced him willingly for the first time. "Good to see you're awake." Hela felt a strong desire to cry. She feared that she would never see Naruto again. This type of loss and subsequent joy completely transformed Hela, making her unable to maintain her cold demeanor. Naruto also comforted Hela by patting her on the back. "There's no need to worry. He doesn't have the power to harm me." Frankly, Naruto felt a slight stirring in his heart. Naruto displayed a high level of professionalism in his decision-making, prioritizing rationality over emotions. However, at this particular moment, he couldn't help but feel a sense of warmth in his heart. "I have strong feelings for you." After much contemplation, he managed to distill his emotions into just 3 simple words. It had been quite some time since Hela had uttered those words, ever since she crossed paths with Naruto. Then, Hela, who had a calm demeanor, warmly embraced Naruto and selflessly offered him all that she possessed. Naruto attempted to express his agreement, but Hela, who was assertive and proactive, interrupted him before he could utter a single word. Emotions often behave in this manner, and frequently, they are difficult to manage. Despite her extensive life experience, Hela remained emotionally detached. She had never encountered them before, and she had never received any guidance on how to handle the situation. From a young age, she honed her skills in the art of efficient elimination. This left Hela perplexed when confronted with Naruto's proactive approach. Today, Hela successfully communicated her feelings for Naruto without any guidance from a teacher. It is only through experiencing the near loss of someone that one can truly grasp the worth of the person standing before them. Naruto found Hela's initiative to be somewhat unsettling. It's important to note that he was the individual responsible for setting the rhythm. When did Hela acquire this ability? Nevertheless, this sensation was also positive. Hela's initiative introduced Naruto to a whole new world. He had a wealth of untapped knowledge. It appeared that he would have chances to hone his skills in the future. This time, the crisis seemed to have strengthened Naruto and Hela's relationship, making it more stable. It only served to further enrage Odin. Odin harbored a strong desire to harm Naruto. Previously, he was quite displeased with this individual who stained Odin's esteemed lineage. However, Naruto delivered a forceful slap to his opponent. As Naruto crushed his pride beneath his feet, Odin's intense desire to eliminate Naruto reached its peak. "You will face the consequences for your actions." Naruto emerged victorious in a battle against Odin, who had dedicated centuries to honing his skills. He revealed his authentic self. His appearance was far from the gentle demeanor that people typically associate with an elderly person. There is an important fact that needs to be known. Regardless of Odin's portrayal as a benevolent and loving figure in Thor, it is important to acknowledge that in his youth, he was a fierce and battle-hungry warrior. He was an individual with extensive experience in leading numerous genocides. A skilled and experienced warrior on the battlefield. Would someone like that possess a pleasant demeanor? Can you believe it? As Odin grew older, he began to embrace his ruthless nature and reveal his true colors of hypocrisy. He aspired to set a strong example and nurture Thor and Loki. However, after being completely humiliated by Naruto, Odin's demeanor was swiftly cast aside, unbeknownst to him. He was determined to initiate a conflict, commanding Asgard's army to invade Earth and eliminate Naruto. He promptly completed the task. He requested the immediate presence of Heimdall. Before Heimdall, Odin declared the assembly of Asgard's army. Asgard's power had been forgotten by the 9 realms. He believed it was important to reiterate the importance of reminding the 9 realms about the potential consequences of being ruled by Asgard. This time, even Heimdall disagreed with Odin's order. "Your Highness, it is important to understand that Asgard is no longer a viable option for initiating a conflict." Heimdall spoke to Odin. Heimdall was correct. Asgard was no longer fit for battle. It was unsuitable, but not incapable. Odin was advanced in age, and Thor had not yet reached maturity. Commencing a conflict at this juncture would only entangle Asgard in a difficult situation. Additionally, taking such action would put Thor at risk. Wait until Odin has been fully eliminated. Did you expect Thor to escape the backlash of countless individuals? Once the seeds of animosity were sown, they would inevitably yield the consequences of animosity in due time. With years of experience and a deep devotion to Odin, Heimdall had a clear understanding of this. Even now, in the vast expanse of the universe, numerous adversaries of Asgard were fixated on them. Indeed, if only this were true, Heimdall would never dare to utter a single word in the presence of Odin. It was Frigga who truly empowered Heimdall to challenge Odin. He is correct, Odin. It would be beneficial for you to relax at this moment. Frigga also rose to her feet at this moment, putting a halt to Odin's rash actions. Odin had previously had a disagreement with Hela, and should he repeat his actions, Hela would hold a lasting grudge against Asgard. A potential ruler with great promise would ultimately turn against Asgard. Frigga was concerned about the situation, believing that Hela had a potential opportunity to come back to Asgard. "Are you going to prevent me as well, Frigga?" Odin's expression transformed into one of fierce determination. He had a determined expression, as if prepared to overcome any obstacle at a moment's notice. Confronting Odin in this condition, even Heimdall experienced immense pressure. Frigga displayed a remarkable lack of fear. "Yes, haven't you been concerned about not having a suitable heir? I believe Hela is quite impressive. She has undergone a significant transformation." Frigga convinced Odin. She was a highly skilled woman, and she possessed extraordinary powers as the goddess of magic with a remarkable foresight. She was well aware that Thor was not the most suitable candidate to inherit the title of King of Gods, even more so than Odin. Even though Thor was her biological sibling and Hela was not, she remains unchanged. Upon seeing me, her initial response was to eliminate me. Should I raise a successor who is prepared to harm me? Despite Odin's lingering anger, he managed to maintain some level of rationality. Despite Frigga's proposal, Odin has yet to provide any comment. Had Hela undergone a transformation? That's not true. It seemed that the moment she laid eyes on me, she had a strong desire to harm me. Was this also referred to as a modification? She has developed a strong sense of protection and no longer engages in mindless acts of violence. She has her own partner, and she is no longer an emotionless deity of death. It would be beneficial to approach your child's situation with a more objective perspective, rather than allowing your past opinions of her to cloud your judgment. Frigga once again tried to convince, as she was genuinely concerned about the ongoing conflict between Odin and Hela. She held the esteemed title of ruler in Asgard. Therefore, she should select a capable successor for Asgard. Otherwise, Asgard's future would be bleak. Asgard was quite unpleasant. Upon hearing Frigga's words, Odin's anger subsided. He started to ponder Frigga's words with great consideration. If, according to Frigga, Hela truly underwent a transformation, then it would seem that she was indeed a fitting candidate to inherit his position. Hela possessed immense strength. She possessed a formidable skill in warfare, ensuring the safety of Asgard. Meanwhile, Hela held the distinction of being his eldest daughter, with the prestigious lineage of Odin's family coursing through her veins. Based on various factors, Hela emerged as the most suitable candidate to inherit the throne. However, Hela's intense focus on killing prevented her from learning how to control her aggressive tendencies. For this reason, Odin ultimately did not see Hela as his rightful successor. Having a ruler who possessed only a knack for violence proved to be a catastrophic situation for the Nine Realms. However, now, if Hela truly mastered the art of protection, as Frigga mentioned, from the perspective of the heir of the God King, Hela had no shortcomings whatsoever. Nevertheless, when he discovered that Hela had chosen a mortal as her spouse, Odin was filled with fury. Hela was the eldest princess of the Odin's family, and she possessed a regal lineage that spanned across the Nine Realms. Why would Hela choose to associate with a mere mortal? Thor was a man indeed. He struggled to come to terms with a mere mortal being Thor's girlfriend. It seems that people have always found a way to capitalize on such opportunities. However, Hela was a daughter, and unfortunately, she had been mistreated by others. It would be unusual if Odin wasn't upset. Wasn't it because Hela found a mortal as her husband that these series of things happen nowadays? The current situation would not be as it is now if there was no such thing. In order to ascend to the throne of the gods, Hela must eliminate the mortal and cleanse the Odin family's tarnished reputation. This is the sole condition. If Hela is unable to accomplish it, she will never ascend to the position of ruler among the gods. At last, Odin made the declaration. Stay tuned for more. And that's a wrap, folks. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed it, I appreciate your support. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Looking forward to seeing you in the next video.